It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by Scooters Coffee and Rescue Towing. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Tuesday. It is May 21st. Once again, we are starting out with temperatures that are very warm. We're at about 67 degrees here in the Springfield area as of 5 a.m. We'll be pushing 90 by this afternoon. It is going to be a very warm day in the Ozarks. And I know you've heard the rumblings of the threat for severe weather that does still exist in the forecast, I think late this evening after 5 p.m., lasting through the evening and maybe even the overnight hours for some in the Ozarks. Most of the day, though, summertime is on. It is going to feel hot and sticky across the Ozarks. We've got a south wind in the forecast, as well as a chance that we see the heat index values up in the low 90s. It is going to be very humid across the Ozarks. You'll notice that as you step out the door. But when we're starting the day at nearly 70 degrees, you know it's going to be a hot one. No jackets required today, only indoors. This time of year, it always seems like people have the air conditioning on blast and it's actually cold inside. So you may want the jacket for indoor purposes. Here's a look at the conditions as we head into the afternoon. So today we're going to be dry. And as we move closer to this evening and overnight tonight, I'm tracking rain and storms. An approaching cold front is going to kick off this round of severe storms that kind of moves through the Ozarks. This is coming from the north this time. So it's first going to move through portions of northern Missouri, central Missouri, portions of eastern Kansas. We'll hear about this in the Kansas City area before it makes it to us here in the Ozarks. But I think the timing for us, for most of us, is going to be after sunset. But once these storms arrive, they could become severe very quickly. I am talking about all modes of severe weather that are possible in the forecast late this evening into tonight. The storms, they're going to be what we call discrete in nature. It means that when you look at the radar picture, it's not just one big wall of rain coming our way. You actually see these individual supercells, and that's the type that you really got to worry about because it means we could see not only incredibly large hail, but incredibly gusty winds, and even there is a threat for tornadoes with these storms as they push through. So time to be kind of on your guard. I think after the evening drive, probably sometime around 7 p.m. for our northern counties, moving through the Springfield area closer to 9 or 10 o'clock, and then pushing even further south into northern Arkansas as we get closer to midnight. Some of these storms could even linger through the very early morning hours of Wednesday, so we could wake up to rain tomorrow too. I am expecting that we see another chance for severe weather tomorrow too. It is just nonstop active here in the central part of the country, and we are getting in on all threats for severe weather. The severe threat shifts south a little bit as we head into Wednesday, though, and then I keep this daily rain chance in the forecast clear through the end of the week and into the holiday weekend. The good news about these storm chances, these daily storm chances, well, after Wednesday, it doesn't look like we're seeing severe weather. It looks more kind of run-of-the-mill, pop-up severe shower and thunderstorm activity for the second half of this forecast. This evening's round of rain, though, could be severe, so have a way to get your watches and warnings today. I want everybody to be prepared for some of that severe weather. We will likely see some sort of watch issued in the Ozarks this evening, so check that before you go to bed tonight and make sure you have the phone alerts on, your weather radios on tonight, because we want to have everybody alerted to some of this severe weather. Before the storms get here, it's just going to be hot and humid. Good day for the pool, near 90 degrees today. Temperatures tomorrow will be cooler, but I still think we're going to be able to build enough instability between the morning rain and the afternoon showers. Once again, the timing for Wednesday looks to be an early afternoon event, and we could have some severe thunderstorms with that Wednesday event as well. Cooler then as we move into Thursday. High temperatures are back into the upper 70s, and then we're back into the 80s by Friday, still holding on to that chance for some scattered shower and thunderstorm activity as we get closer to the holiday weekend. Around the country, what's making headlines? It's this continued threat for severe weather for much of the central United States. Also, cooler conditions are making headlines from the Rockies back to the Pacific Northwest. Also, periods of rain are accompanying that cool down for our northwestern friends. And well above average temperatures are now taking hold for the eastern half of the country. We are experiencing that little warm up today. In fact, temperatures in the 90s is going to be close to record highs across the area today. So nice and toasty for us here in the Ozarks as well. All right, it's time for that Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister Trivia question. This is what I left you with yesterday. By 1966, the Ford Motor Company was including what in all of their vehicles? The options that I gave were A, air conditioners, B, cigarette lighters, C, flood headlight high beam switches, or D, 8-track players. Well, if you listened to yesterday's episode of the podcast, you heard I had my husband Joseph on. He immediately guessed B, cigarette lighters. He said it was 1966. Everybody was smoking. And that was true. However, it was not the correct answer. The correct answer was actually D, 8-track players, which seems a little bit early for the 8-track players, but it was 1966 that the Ford Motor Company said, all right, we're on board. Ford led the pack here. In 1966, Ford put the first 8-track player in a Mustang. It had a factory in-dash 8-track player. It was the first one. And then after that, they said, okay, we will make this an option on all of our vehicles. It lasted for a while, of course. And it reached its high point there in the late 60s and 70s. But by the late 70s, it was starting to see a downfall. And by 1982, music studios stopped shipping 8-tracks to retailers. So cars began to remove the 8-track recorder from the car model. But congrats. If D was your guess, the 8-track player, you are now entered to win a $20 gift card to Scooter's Coffee. Here's your next chance to win. What colors are at the extreme ends of the visible color spectrum? Do you think it is A, red and violet, B, white and black, C, yellow and blue, or D, white and violet? You can submit your guess. That's at aroundtheozarks.com. Don't forget, we have an entire weather section there at aroundtheozarks.com. So head on over to the website, click on the weather tab. You're going to get everything you need to know about the forecast, and we'll tell you about some of that severe weather moving through the Ozarks later tonight as well. I want everybody to stay safe. Make sure you have a way to get your watches and warnings late tonight and this evening. We will chat again early Wednesday morning and talk more about the severe weather heading our way.